Libya is a country divided, and even though I'm an American, nothing is going to stop me from visiting this country. Saudi, the UAE, and Russia have all sided with the East, which has been set up as a de facto government, while the capital of Tripoli is supported by Turkey, Algeria, and potentially the United States, but under the table. Despite this country opening up tourism and an e-visa approximately 1 year ago, supposedly making things easier for tourists to come, I was rejected for one visa after another. There are reasons for this, and I'll get into everything. But now I'm landing in Libya, and these are things I learned by visiting Libya as an American.
We made it to Libya. It took about 3 hours for us to get our e-visa to process while we were sitting and sleeping in the airport. Kind of crazy, but we are finally here.
Now, the first thing that I immediately learned when we got here is that they love soup. Soup is essentially served before every single meal. Spaghetti is very common too because of the colonial period, but I will get more into that very shortly. Oof, look at that fish. As we begin to walk around, I'm immediately noticing how modern it is here. Something Western media would definitely make us think differently about.
Behind me is where Musolini spoke to the people from, so this is a pretty iconic spot.
I had some people in my comments on my shorts saying, no, Mussolini did not speak from there. However, yes, he did. Mussolini visited Libya 3 times. This was during the Italian colonial period. Began in 1911 and lasted until 1943. This occurred because under Ottoman occupation in 1911 there was a war called the Italo-Turkish War. Surprisingly, Italians won this, thus making Libya a colony. But not only one colony, 2 colonies. The Italian Tripolitania and Italian Cyrenaica. Libyans who rebelled were taken to camps, and this was a very dark time in Libyan history. Something else I learned in Libya is that Libyans are very hospitable. We were just walking along the road and we saw a mosque, and there happened to be a groom. Traditionally, they give out gifts to everybody in the community, and this was the gift that we got. So kind. Now I'm in the old city of Tripoli, and it is crazy to see all of the Roman architecture that is still left here, just casually in the center of the city. This road that I'm standing on is 2,000 years old, and the detail is absolutely crazy. These are many of the different Roman gods, which are pretty similar to Greek mythology. They just have different names. It's literally like a living museum. Right now we are enjoying some juice in front of this, and we are also having a fish dinner, but I was very surprised to learn that originally everyone in Libya was a Bedouin, a desert dweller, which were the Amazigh and Tuareg. Arabs eventually came and colonized Libya. I should note that this was in the 7th century, so a very long time ago. And at this point, the majority is Arabs. However, despite this, the country is a very large mix of people. You can see many distinctly different looking people, skin color varies, and Libya is just such an all-around diverse country. Which makes sense because we are in Africa. These are some traditional Libyan outfits. Now they are mainly worn for weddings. Now, before I came to Libya, I thought that this was a war-torn country because that is basically what is shown in the media. All I'd ever really heard about Libya was about war. So one thing that has greatly surprised me about traveling through this country is that no one is afraid of explosions. Let me just show you. So we can see now I wish I had not stopped recording, but I got freaked out. However, this is just an explosion by kids who are buying poppers and celebrating. But still, I just wouldn't expect this here. But this is incredibly normalized. Which brings me to the topic that I was planning to talk about in that video before I got scared. Mandated security that we technically don't know about while in Libya. As an American, as any foreigner, we are required to have a local guide if you want to get that tourist visa. And this is why I originally did not get the tourist visa when I applied 2 different times. For a short minute there, you could apply for the e-visa and use a local sponsor, which is just a local person, to vouch for you. But this is no longer the case, so I wasted $60 each time I submitted that form for the e-visa until finally I gave in and I hired Hisham. He's amazing, no regrets there. But you know I always try to go on a trip without having to hire a tour operator if I don't have to. So we can see our guard over there across the way. Unfortunately, because I'm American, the requirements for security are the highest for pretty much anybody. UK, they're shooting off some fireworks, a little scary. But basically we have a guard that's on us at all times. Unfortunately, that's just how it's gonna be on this trip. Gas is incredibly inexpensive in Libya, like 15 dinar cents per liter, which makes it 52.5 dinar cents per gallon, which is approximately 7.5 cents per gallon, or 2 cents per liter. I know, absolutely bonkers for anyone who does not live in Libya. It ended up being the equivalent of about $2 to fill an 80-liter tank. That's 24 gallons. I would say that one of the main things that I learned on this trip is that Libyan food is really, really good. Actually, I think it's the best food in North Africa by far. But also that Libya is not a scary place. Next episode is going to be exploring some of the ancient ruins here in detail. I'm really excited to take everyone on this journey with me. And please let me know any questions you have in the comments, and maybe I'll make some videos responding to your questions specifically. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode about beautiful Libya.